What's up, guys? Welcome back to No Collar Entertainment. This is Matt.
This is Ariane.
And this is our second episode, but first official episode of No Collar Reviews.
Woo-hoo.
This is where a friend of ours said we should start doing this, and we decided that we are going to start reviewing movies that we see and going to see blockbusters minus Michael Bay films, because fuck you, we won't. And
or occasionally non-blockbuster films.
Yeah, trying to find some good recommendations for you guys and some more in-depth reviews that is it worth your money to go to the theater to watch it? Is it worth your money to buy it, rent it, or should you wait for it to show up on Netflix, HBO, or whatever else you may own? So,
by the way, did you mention spoilers in the tag?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, just so you know, there will be spoilers. This is as much about reviewing as it is a conversation for anyone who wants to join the stream. But yeah, we're gonna probably talk about different plot points and characters and activities or events that happen in the film. So if you are not interested in any of that, then you should probably turn away now. But if you are, and just want to hear someone else's take on it because maybe you thought about it in a certain way and you just wanted to hear what the rest of the internet is saying and we're just one more voice, then by all means continue watching. And if you're watching live, then please feel free to join in.
So there's your spoiler alert. Now, so we went and we saw Jigsaw and Justice League this weekend.
Yes.
And we're going to start with Jigsaw. Just get it out of the way. And I am thoroughly disappointed. I am a huge Saw fan. Absolutely love Saw. I think Saw is one of the coolest franchises ever. And I was really excited about this one. I was excited about a reboot. I was excited for them to kind of start over because I was thinking, you know, maybe they'll realize where they went wrong in 4, 5, 6, and 7. While those were fun movies for me, you know, they just, nothing seemed to capture that magic of the very first film. And we're going to talk about it. So, sure. Ariane, initial thoughts.
I actually was not disappointed in that it lived up to about what I expected, which was nothing. There were a couple of moments that I thought were cool. Thinking back, they may occur to me again as we talk, but in general, no. I have never been I've never been a big Saw serial fan. As in, I don't even know the word loved is really the appropriate word, but I think it's the closest thing I can get to. Like, I really appreciated the first movie. I enjoyed it. Now, it's hard for me to go back and watch it because it is still a disturbing and difficult movie to watch. But that being said, I think that's part of its allure, and I think that that's what the filmmakers lost sight of when they decided to do multiple movies, and they just decided to take up the horror movie tropes and just not even just horror movie tropes. I mean, yes, there's that, but also the aspect that comes from making a sequel from a more superior movie. And I mean, it's more superior as in it assumes that the sequel is going to be less than. But part of the reason the sequel or any other subsequent movies are less than is because they're missing the magic of the first one. The magic that was the first Saw movie was not the gore. That absolutely plays into it, but it was more shocking than anything, particularly because it's probably the least bloody of all the films. Now, granted, again, I know sequels tend to be more bloody than the first one. I realize that. However, this movie, the first one, was capitalizing on being a horror movie and being different, and part of it was because of that uncomfortable scene that you get specifically at the end, as well as the different mind-fucking games that Jigsaw is portraying and doing whatever throughout the movie. But it really is that moment at the end that makes you just so uncomfortable it's hard to watch, that people weren't expecting at that time, in whatever year it was that Saw came out. I can look it up real fast, but 2003, 2004, whatever it was, that people were like, oh, I want to see more. It wasn't the gore that people will say, I want to see more. I feel I feel the reason that I say that I would have liked to have watched a good number 2 Saw film was, it was the twist. I mean, it was a twist. It was the simplistic
come on, that was
way.
one of the greatest twists.
Well, and it was also the simplistic way in where it was shot. It was largely about these two guys who are absolute strangers, and the movie is piecing together the way they're connected for us. But in general, this movie is really taking place within this room with these two guys.
Gary Always is amazing.
No, yeah. And that very simplistic way of telling a story and having that shocker at the end in twofold punches of one, the guy sawed his foot off, and two, he sawed it off for nothing. Or not for nothing, I guess, but essentially, like, the bad guy, the villain, was in the room the whole time. Again, spoiler alerts in case anyone here hasn't seen Saw. If you haven't, you should.
If you haven't, it's so old that fuck you.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. But yeah, it's that's why I like Saw 1, but why I never saw any of the other sequels after that until Matt sat me down and made me watch, was because I could already kind of tell where they were going just based off of the trailers and the commercials, and I wanted no part of it. And I was not only, I say too loud, I was not only right, at least in my opinion, but it was worse than that, in that a lot of the fact that they were trying to do this whole, like, oh, that one thing that happened in the first movie, we actually made it tie into the fourth one. Like, no, that's revisionist bullshit. The first movie was perfect, and now you're trying to justify the next ones, and don't do that. Either write a story if you can, as best you can, like, at the forefront, and then just split it up, or come up with a new story. When you make your sequels and third ones and all other stuff. I mean, I might be off on this. I'm sure there's plenty of sequels that people will be like, what about this one? What about this one that everyone loves? And they were right, and they pretty much did the same thing you're talking about. You're right. Toy Story 2, Terminator 2, and Aliens are my favorite fucking sequels. Well, Back to the Future. My favorite fucking sequels in the entire world, and they're perfect movies. To me. But in general, it's really... And Batman, the Dark Knight. But in general, like, even those...
Toy Story 2 got on that list?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Out of all those?
Yeah.
You put them on the same level as Aliens, Terminator 2, Back to the Future 2, and Dark Knight.
Yeah.
You really put it on the same level.
I feel like it should be up there, yeah.
We're going to have a talk.
I understand this.
But right now we're talking about Jigsaw.
Okay.
And I want to kind of build on your point a little bit, because what I have always pointed out to Ariane, and one of the things that she's agreed with me on the Saw films and the greatness of it.
Wait, I've agreed on the greatness of it?
You've agreed on the greatness of a certain point that I have made.
Which is?
The illusion of violence. Which is a point I've made over and over and over again. And that is that, why is the foot cutting scene in the original Saw so disturbing?
I get that you don't see it.
That's the point, though, and that's what I'm trying to show the audience. But I know you know the answer.
Yeah,
I want them to dwell on it.
Part of it is that you don't see it, but I don't feel like that necessarily is it.
I'm not finishing my point.
Go ahead.
So what my main point is that the illusion of violence. Your mind is always worse than your eyes. How I put it, because we could have seen him cut off his foot, which we saw it break the skin, and we saw bits and pieces, but the fact of the matter is we did not see the level of gore that you see in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is where I believe one of their biggest mistakes was, because the image in your mind of him cutting off his foot is worse than any CGI special effects creation that they could have made. And another point which Jigsaw actually confirmed for me, the choice of trap that they used to draw your attention or get that moment was always the same trap. It was the mouth trap that Amanda gets away from in the original Saw. Why do they feel that is the most iconic? Which obviously they feel that way because they get some feedback from the fans. So why do the fans think that's the most iconic? Because it's the only trap that didn't go off. It's the only one we did not see what happens when it goes. And that, I mean, because they actually bring it back. They bring it back in like the 5th or 6th movie. I don't fucking remember because they all kind of blend together in a horrible mash of violence. But they bring it back to use on someone, and even he gets out of it. It's the only trap to be used more than once and not work both times. So it's that illusion of what can this trap do that makes it so iconic.
I don't know why you keep using that word iconic. I don't think that's an appropriate term for that. I don't feel like it's iconic. I think when I think of Saw, I don't think of that trap. I think of the guy sawing his foot off. I realize I'm not a fan, and maybe that's why.
What do the fans do?
But I wonder if that's really what would be iconic to us, to many Saw fans.
Why did they focus on that in so many scenes in Jigsaw?
No, it's understandable that it is important to the story. It is significant, but iconic. Iconic to me indicates a certain level of emotion, and like it rises above the movie. People that maybe not have seen the movie but know what it is. People who have not seen Saw, but they know what the fuck happens. They may not, because they know the guy saws his leg off and the guy's in the thing, because they probably already had it spoiled. They may not have seen Saw, but they know what that Jigsaw doll looks like. That's iconic.
Yeah, that doll is iconic as fuck.
That thing's creepy as hell.
And that was one of the creepier moments of the film, when those eyes lit up.
Whenever you saw a trailer for Saw, you knew it was a trailer for Saw even before they announced the movie, because they would use that fucking doll.
Yeah.
That is iconic to me with Saw. But the mouth thing, it only happens if you are a fan and you've seen the movies and you've seen all of them. But like having only seen the first movie, I totally forgot about that fucking trap.
I understand that. And my point is, though, if you look at the cinematography of the way they shoot this movie, they focus on that trap. Both times that it's used, it's focused on. The trap that they're working on in the big reveal is the mouth trap. The final trap that you see in her collection of horror is the mouth trap. Why is it the last one? Why is it kind of the centerpiece?
It certainly has a little gravity. It certainly has a measure of gravity to it, because it is the one that no one's ever gotten out of, or no one's ever been like caught in. I get that. Again, maybe it's a matter of semantics. I don't feel like it's iconic, but that might be beside the point.
But either way, don't get me wrong. I am still a Saw fan, and I still had a semblance of enjoyment in this movie. If you are in the mood for gregarious violence...
Gregarious the word I'm looking for?
Is gregarious the word I'm looking for?
It's
probably not the word I'm looking for. Gratuitous violence. Ish story. Better story than most horror films. And a twist at the end. If you're an immersion type of movie watcher, you will not see the twist coming. But I did not.
You always know there's a twist coming.
Yes.
You're waiting for it. You're maybe trying to figure out what it is.
If you're not an immersion type like Ariane, which wait, let me clarify, please, before you rip my head off.
Yes, please.
You are a very immersive movie watcher if it grabs you. If it doesn't grab you, you will tear it apart and call every twist. I have not seen a movie that did not grab you from the beginning where you have not called the twist.
I don't feel like that's entirely true, but that's probably more often true than not.
So, my point being, if you are a person like me, who no matter how bad the movie is, you're going to at least let it try to just take you on this ride and not try to think about twists and turns and what's coming, then you may enjoy this movie. But, warning, I read a review that said they stepped away from the gore. Bullshit. Yeah. They did not step away from the gore.
And that's what I was kind of hoping for, because I really did want... I don't like torture porn. I saw...
And it's like I was saying, my favorite part about the original Saw movie is that imagination. That what is happening to this guy's leg as he's cutting it off? What does it look like? Oh my God, my head is making this horrible image. I don't need to see it. Because my head will do worse, I promise. So, I know you want to talk, sweetheart, but I am talking right now.
I know. I
know you want to rip this movie apart, baby.
I do.
Give me time. Give me time to at least put up a straw house defense.
Straw house?
Yeah, because you're about to blow it fucking down. I know this. See what I did there? 3 little pigs? Yeah. Sweet. Okay. All right. So, now, it got me, and it actually got Ariane, self-admittedly, thinking that it could be a decent Saw movie and worth our time.
Basically because you told me, and I
told her that it went down on the gore, but also the very first death, quote, is not seen.
Okay.
It is panned away from. So in that moment, we're like, yay, this might actually go away from the gore. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse as the movie goes on, all the way to the final death, where the guy's head splits open like a flower and blood gushes out of his throat.
Yeah, that one was
like
too much.
No, god damn it. Like, I had such high hopes. Such high hopes. And there were plot holes up the ass. Oh my god.
So why do you like this movie again?
This was lazier than most Saw films. I like the movie because I have a thing for gratuitous violence as long as I'm expecting it. When I went into Jigsaw, I was not expecting an Academy Award-winning performance.
No one should.
I was expecting torture and uncomfortability. I want to be uncomfortable. I have no problem being uncomfortable. That might be part of the reason I like horror films and you don't. I love being uncomfortable at certain points.
That's not why I don't like horror films.
Like The Babadook.
Okay.
Oh my god, no movie made me more uncomfortable.
Yeah, we should go review on that one.
Anyway, going back to Jigsaw, I give it, out of 10, I'll give it a 6. Because it is still a Saw film, so they stay true to it, but with the glaring potholes and, god damn it, the overuse of gore, I can't say that it was even on par with 1 or 2.
See, here's my thing. When you go to see a Saw movie, I feel like you should come to expect the twist, the gore, and the plot holes. Like, that's just gonna happen. Like, that's what you're watching it for. Like, I don't understand why you'd be surprised by any of that.
But what are the plot holes in 1?
Okay, not the first one. Well, there's probably a couple in there somewhere.
I'm sure there are, but they're very well covered up.
Yeah, we can pick those apart, but we're not gonna do that for that one. And honestly, here's the thing. And we've had this discussion multiple times over the last few weeks because we talked about horror movies, especially around Halloween last month. And I had to come to the realization that it isn't that I am against horror movies. I try, as a film enthusiast, as a film fan, I really want to be able to watch a movie regardless of the genre and enjoy it, or at least be able to objectively view it and pick up points about what I appreciate about it and things that I don't. There are some genres that I generally prefer, and there are others that I absolutely do not. Action comedies are up there. Rom-coms and horrors are not. So with horrors in particular, there's all these different subgroups that come along with it. There's horrors, there's slashers, there's torture porn, there's creature feature, there's ghost stories, there's aliens. And granted, a lot of those kind of can like blend the lines, but in general, those tend to be how they kind of get lumped in. But there's also sci-fi and so forth, and thriller, of course, thriller, suspense. But I think that obviously torture porn on that low end for me, it absolutely is. It's not that I mind being uncomfortable. It's just the type of discomfort that I am looking for. Babadook was creepy AF. Creepy. Creepy. I don't mind creepy. I love creepy. I think creepy is the best kind. I love horror. I love suspense because it keeps me on the edge of the seat if it's done right. But a lot of movies sometimes take themselves a little too seriously or think they're more than what they actually are, and it ends up ruining it for me because I can see what they're trying to do when they're trying to hide it. Like, I can see your sleight of hand. It's not an illusion to me anymore, and it just makes me pissed off that you think I'm dumb enough to fall for it. Like, that's the real reason why I don't like a lot of horror movies, particularly slashers. One, because of the tropes, because you can see them coming a mile away, and Saw is definitely falls in that category. Maybe not all of Saw, but certainly the majority of them. Definitely does that for me. But the other problem is for me is that if I'm watching a movie, and what was that one we watched the other day? The Strangers. If I'm watching a movie and I'm pissed off at a decision that a character is making that's completely contrary to what I feel like would be in their best interest for survival, then I am no longer scared. You've taken me out of that realm. You might have had me up until that point like, what's going to happen next? Oh my God, this is so thrilling. And then all of a sudden, The one guy with the gun walks off into the distance.
Why don't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Exactly. That's the whole fucking point. That's why I'm so pissed. That's why that commercial, that Geico commercial that we keep seeing every time we go see a movie right now. I don't know about anyone else's theaters, but we see it every time we go to a movie in our area. And it's the first, one of the first commercials they show on there, regardless of genre. And it's the same for, like, you know, scared teenagers running from a chainsaw maniac. And like, let's go in the attic. Let's go in the basement. Why don't we get in the running car? Because it's so fucking obvious that why don't more horror movies do this? But very few actually do. And of course, a lot of times when they do, of course, the car doesn't start. So what difference does it make? But if the car is already running, then that's your gimme. But it's stuff like that. That when I watch a movie and it pisses me off, not like, oh my god, I can't believe that guy did that to that one person and I hope he dies. Like The Patriot did to me the whole time I was fucking watching it, just waiting for that one British guy. I just, like, okay, he's gonna die eventually, right? Now?
Yeah,
now?
Jason Isaacs, I believe.
Now?
Jason Isaacs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, shout out to Jason Isaacs, we hate you.
But yeah,
no,
like, Malcolm, yeah, like that. But yeah, the idea is that, like, if I'm pissed off, be like, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why are you gonna let the one guy with a gun, who in a horror movie where someone's obviously trying to kill you and you don't know where they are, you stay here, honey. I'm the big strong man. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna talk.
The stranger still.
Yeah, sorry.
Jigsaw.
The whole point is that if a movie pisses me off to the point where I feel like it's insulting my intelligence, it's impossible for me to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It makes it that much harder for me to try and buy into anything else you have to say. You've already lost your argument.
Now, our evidence for this is, first of all, one that Ariane brought up to me that I did not catch the first time, and I'm kind of pissed at myself that I didn't. So at some point, they dig up Jigsaw's coffin, and it's been replaced with the body of one of the victims. Here's the problem. When they get there, they do not mention, they do not show, but you would think if a body has been replaced in a coffin, there may be some moved earth already?
This guy's been dead for 10 years.
And they don't even bring it up. They don't bring it up.
They don't bring it up. They don't show the grave before they dig into it.
Instead, the guy's completely shocked that Jigsaw's not in the coffin.
And some other guy is, who just died overnight.
And he's shocked, even though he probably would have seen the moved earth and seen someone had already been here. Unless
this is some sort of magical fairyland where you can dig into the ground anywhere on the planet Earth. Move the earth, put it back, make it look completely unsettled and uniform with all the grass around it, and put grass and everything like that. And like, no, that's not how this works. That's just bullshit. And that was later in the film. That wasn't the one that got me like, I'm not going to watch this film and enjoy it anymore. There was a lot of other shit that, in general, it was just not understanding different character direction, context. I already kind of saw what kind of characters we were looking at. We had very stereotypical characters, the male machismo of the cop who's like, yeah, I'm the big dick around here and driving around in a fucking, I don't know what year, but Jessica would know, classic Mustang with a red light or whatever. I don't know why you would use that as a cop car. You're just gonna get blood and teeth on it all the time, but whatever. But yeah, like, okay, we're gonna ignore that because the guy looks cool. That's my first mistake right there. I'm sorry, that's the first one that was like, I can't do this.
Also, the guy's daughter being used as a disarmer. One of the main characters, the ME, has a daughter. We see him playing catch with her at the very beginning of the movie. Then we see her on a Skype conversation to give him a little more humanity, I guess. And then she is never brought up again.
No, none, not whatever.
Like, nothing. You could have at least tied it in a bow and had him, like, hug her at the end, which actually probably would have been pretty sick and twisted. But, like, I mean, God damn it. And you know what? As a Jigsaw fan, and I'm speaking as the killer, not the movie, the traps were sloppy. The traps were not clever at all.
So why, again, are you rating this one higher than 3 through 7? Why?
because I enjoyed it better than 3 through 7.
What about it did you enjoy? Because all I'm hearing about it is all these things that are wrong with it and lazy and sloppy.
So you
like
want me to
so
say
worth
things that
3
are
through
right
7.
so you can just rip me apart for
That's
them?
what part of a review and a debate at this point is. Like, I mean, okay, so, baby, let's do this. I understand that you enjoy Saw and the Saw movies. Mm-hmm. You understand that I cannot.
Yeah.
The exception of the first one. So, the second one, I'll kind of give you. I'll give you the second one. Like, that's like, man, it wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad either.
No, it was a nice little change of pace.
It wasn't necessary, but whatever. Fine, fuck it. I'll live with it.
Okay.
The 3rd through 7 were completely unnecessary in my opinion, and so is this one. We may as well just call it Saw 8, but whatever. The idea is that you are holding back on your argument for why this one is better than 3 through 7 because you feel like I'm going to have an argument that's going to downplay that. My point is that there's no argument you can give me that says this movie is better than 3 where I'd be like, yeah, you're wrong. Right. Because I don't like 3 either.
No, actually, you're right. I'm going to say 3 was better as well. Because I actually enjoyed 3 now that I think about the storyline of it. But 4 through 7 were just convoluted and pieces of shit.
I can probably
this one
buy
I can at least follow.
Because 4 through 7, isn't that where they started trying to tie back to the other ones?
Yeah, they added in like 2 other Jigsaw killers, and it's all
which I guess I understand they're trying to be creative with it because the idea is that with sequels, a lot of times it is like just introducing a new villain or trying to bring back an old one, but resurrecting them, not necessarily or like. You know, Jason Voorhees' mother, or the mother from the guy from Scream 2. Like, okay, I get that. You wanna do that?
But
we've done it before. It's fine.
Saying that,
but the way they did it, was
I did enjoy
bullshit.
The second trap. I thought was extremely clever, and I enjoyed that one.
Oh, okay.
The syringes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that trap.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the start of the film. From first of all, they throw you off, which I appreciated. At the very beginning, the very first shot you see is of some god-awful contraption of blades and metal and just, oh my god, what is this monstrosity? It's a spike strip. You're in a cop chase. Oh, that was actually pretty refreshing. Like, you weren't going where I thought you were going. Because 99% of Saw movies, if not all of them.
99, there's like 7.
Yeah, I know. But everyone starts with a trap.
Do they all start with a trap? Did one start with a trap?
I believe one started with a trap.
I don't feel like one started with a trap.
One started with... one started with them waking up in the bathroom.
I guess that's technically them in the
trap.
That's the trap. Yeah.
But the other ones would start with a one-off.
But that's not... Okay, I'm not going to relitigate the first one because that's something that always bothered me with the first one, but I'm not going to do that.
What?
Yeah, the point is that they start off with a trap. I get that, but I thought that the whole idea of the first, in that scenario, was that it wasn't necessarily... A trap indicates that you have a choice, I think, is part of the idea.
Well, here's the thing.
And I'm not sure how much choice you have when, like, you're trying to get out of a tub and you're pulling the plug to get out. Are you not supposed to do it? Like, that's something I've always had a problem with a lot of Saw movies. Like, if they don't have any other information, so they can't really make a choice.
No, he didn't pull the plug to get out of the tub. He was writhing and accidentally pulled the plug. He was able to get out of the tub without pulling the plug.
That still doesn't really symbolize to me a good trap. Essentially, you're just... Either the person's going to get up without pulling the plug, or they're going to pull it out of reaction or something like that, however it's set up. But he sets it up so that they have either option can happen, but there's not really much choice in that matter. It's almost all coincidence if he manages to make it out of the tub without pulling it or not.
Yeah.
That's something that's always bothered me with a lot of Saw traps, that it is, you are setting it up so that the person fails.
No, yeah. But back to my point, is that all the other movies start with a one-off, someone in a trap and failing. That doesn't always tie into the story. It was refreshing for it to look like it was doing that and then not do it.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. I did enjoy a couple of the characters. The ME, the crazy chick ME. The main game player, I guess you would call her. Whatever her name was.
Anna.
Mitch. Loved Mitch. I thought Mitch was one of the stronger characters in the film. And I loved rooting against the fat guy who was playing the game.
I don't remember what his name was.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
Brian,
something like that.
Nothing like that.
But I mean, there were things I enjoyed, and there's a lot of things I had problems with. That's why it only got a 6.
So, can I talk about some good things that I enjoyed about it? It's gonna be hard, but I will try. This is a review.
Well, I was trying to.
I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead. I realize how much time we're taking on this. That's why.
Well, this is 2 movies, so it might be a little longer than our usual reviews, but that's okay. So yeah, I mean, it's a Saw movie, and when I go to a Saw movie, I know what to expect, and I'm okay with it. The difference is, Ariane is not.
Absolutely not.
So I'm sure I'll be going to see Saw movies on my own in the future.
Oh, I'll go see them with you, baby, because
until we have a child and I can just drag him or her along.
I'm. Oh, God damn it. The idea of you dragging along one of our progeny to go see one of these movies is just disturbs me. I don't care how old they are. I don't care if they're 25. It's like, really? I didn't teach you better, really? I feel like I failed.
Well, I'm going to teach my child to always find the joy in what you can.
Even though you started this stream saying we're not gonna review Michael Bay movies because fuck that.
Well, because Michael Bay does not deserve the time,
and yet Saw does.
Yeah, Saw is better than Michael Bay movies.
It's really close.
Oh no, it's not. Not from that fucking Transformers movie where they fly out of the blowing up building onto an actual ramp, a physical ramp that doesn't have no reason to be there. Why is the ramp there? Are people daredeviling on this construction site on the regular? I'll bring it down when I'm done talking about Michael Bay.
I'm giving him to watch the volume because I don't want to blow out our mic. But just
fuck Michael Bay.
Yeah, no, seriously.
He insults our intelligence worse than Saw does.
They're both pretty fucking bad.
I'm not saying that Saw doesn't. I'm saying that Michael Bay does it worse.
It's like those different shades of it's kind of those different shades of gray. I can kind of see one's black and one's a slightly darker black.
Yeah. Anyway. Enough about Michael Bay. He's had enough time on this stream. Okay, what you liked about Jigsaw? We did the cons. We've done cons for about 25 minutes now. Let's do some pros.
I like the syringe. I thought that was interesting. I was kind of hopeful that from that point on that they were going to get into more more introspective traps, like the one that they end up spending the majority of their time in the movie, which was where they were trapped in that one room because the one guy went to the wrong door. That didn't feel like it had anything to do with anything. I understand that Jigsaw is trying to show them a better way of making choices, blah, 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 your consequences. I get that.
Introspective part of the trap.
But that's the whole point, that there wasn't one with this.
That's another thing they've really gone away from since 2. 2 did a really good job at introspective traps. Every trap had a reason why that trap was there.
It feels like this movie wants to be 7. And, all of the Saw movies want to be 7, but they want to be better than 7. Guess what? Spoiler alert, you can't be. Saw was really, really close. But 7 had a bit more, I think, intelligence in its design with regards to story,
I really can't take
dialogue,
7. I can't
and
say
so
Saw
forth.
is better than 7.
So I feel like if we're going to compare
want to.
movies, I know you do, baby.
Because I'm not the biggest fan of 7. I appreciate 7. I think 7's a fantastic movie, and the twist is done beautifully, and Kevin Spacey is a goddamn master. Even though he's a douchebag in real life, apparently.
Yeah.
But that we're talking about movies here. We don't talk about real life on here because real life sucks.
We can talk about real life a little bit, but it's not relevant to this discussion at this time.
Yeah. Anyway, so he is a genius in that film, though. His acting job is fantastic.
But then not just the acting; it was just the entire design of the movie. I felt like was done with much more clearer purpose than the Saw films. I think that's probably I know it's me getting away from me talking about what
we're
I like
going back
about
to
it.
cons. You did one pro, and now we're back to cons.
That's what's going to ultimately always be my disappointment with these films. It's probably I can probably forgive a lot of the bullshit they try and pull with regards to the acting, the writing, the general plot. But if I felt like everything had I felt like there was a general purpose that this movie was trying to utilize, and stuck with it, as opposed to like getting scatterbrained and like, well, I want to do this, well, no, I want to do this. I think it'd be cool to do this. Like, no, take your medicine, sit down, and just focus. That's all I'm asking you to do. You are obviously able to make 19,000 movies because you already started on it. If you want, you can probably focus on doing each and every one of these at some point. People will pay to see it. But if you do them right, more people will be willing to do so. And that's the problem. Other thing that I liked about it,
why don't you go away from the traps? Start thinking about scenes that didn't involve traps.
I like the one cop, I forget his name. I don't. The IA guy. Yeah, I liked him. I did like him. I thought that he did a good job. He was the only sane, not evil human being in the entire fucking movie. And so I enjoyed him. He was a fresh breath of fresh air. I'm not saying a whole lot, seeing as how if you're the only sane one in an entire movie full of assholes, then you're always going to look good. But he's not even a main point in the movie. He's a side character.
Yeah. But he really shouldn't be, because he makes the best decisions in the entire film.
Which is the one thing I'm craving for in a horror movie.
Like, he finds that
I feel like
skin,
I can rarely get.
He finds that skin in the Emmy's freezer or whatever, and his reaction is not, I need to go get him myself, like some of the other characters in the movie.
Right.
But
what is it, Scooby-Doo?
His reaction is, oh shit, we need to pick him up now.
Call everybody.
PBA, everyone, whatever they call it. What's
everyone?
APB, not PBA. APB out. Everyone, all units converge. Get this fucker. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Not, why call the cops? We can save lives. Oh my god. Even I was like, what the fuck? But, okay, so we spent 40 minutes on Saw.
Yeah.
Which is probably more than you believe it deserves.
Yeah.
Final score out of 10.
A 4.
A 4.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's higher than I thought you were going to do. I thought you were going to be like, can I do negatives on this scale?
There are, I'll be honest, there are very few movies that I would give negatives to. There are a few out there, I'm certain.
Catwoman. Sharknado.
No, Sharknado has its own enjoyability.
You would give Sharknado a positive score?
I would give a Sharknado I don't know if I can give a higher score than Saw.
0.5.
I don't know if I can give Sharknado a higher score than Saw, but I will say that I enjoyed it far more. Mainly because of how stupid it was.
Yeah, well, it's making fun of itself. We've already established you like horror movies that make fun of themselves.
I absolutely love horror movies that make fun of themselves.
Cabin in the Woods.
Absolutely.
Probably one of your favorite horror movies.
No, yeah, easily an 8. Easily an 8. It's got to be higher than that, in all honesty. So,
okay, so 4 out of 10 for her, 6 out of 10 for me. I would say if you're a Saw fan, specifically if you're a Saw fan, rent it. It's worth the rent when it first comes out on video.
Yeah.
If you're not a Saw fan, but you are still curious, Netflix.
Yeah,
if you're not a Saw fan at all and you have no desire for Saw, skip it.
Yeah. If you're already paying for it, then I mean, what the fuck? Why not?
Yeah. It's not really worth a theater watch. In my opinion, if I go to a theater watch movie, I want a spectacle. I want something big. And this did not deliver. So I would say you can wait for video on this one.
Now, moving on to the one that is actually a big blockbuster movie, and I would recommend.
Now the main event of the evening.
Yeah.
Justice League. Okay. We're going to do this. And I know our friend who recommended us do movie reviews is going to watch this. And he's going to be mad.
Yeah, because he recommended it. And he enjoyed Justice League.
Yeah. Whereas I, specifically, did not.
I enjoyed it more than Saw.
Oh, well, that's saying a whole fucking lie.
Again, I tend to fall higher on the the spectrum for action movies than horror. So it takes a lot for horror to actually get me to give it a higher ranking than an action movie, mainly out of enjoyability.
Yeah.
And Justice League was enjoyable to a degree. It has all the major points that you need in an action movie. It has like drama, it has comedy, it has action, it has a story somewhat, you know, it has characters that you might recognize because everyone knows the fuck Batman and Wonder Woman are. Even if you hadn't watched the goddamn movies, everyone knows who they are. And Superman. But oh yeah, spoiler alert because we already said it.
Spoiler, it was in the trailer.
Yeah, Superman lives. So but okay, can I start this one off? You start it off, Saw.
Yeah, I guess you might as well, so I can sit here and bite my lip as I wait to rip this movie a new one.
That's fine. It's only fair. So Justice League, we actually discussed this at length after the movie while we were waiting for Jigsaw to start.
Which was actually refreshing because I think I came out of Jigsaw giving it an 8. And then as we talked and we pointed out more and I thought about it more, it slid.
And that's kind of the same thing for me with Justice League. Is that I came out thinking, okay, I give this a 7, and then later on I probably give it more of a 6. DC is trying so hard to be Marvel. They can't be. They're not. And they should just give that shit up. And once they do, they'll probably find that they're going to be a lot more successful and a lot happier at what they do. Okay, so Cyborg, I don't know dick about Cyborg except for what I've watched on Teen Titans.
Yep,
like that's
about all you get.
Pretty much all I know. And
we're not comic book readers, by the way. For anyone who may be watching this, we are not the comic book readers.
So this movie is, I mean, if you're someone who is familiar with the series, you're gonna have a lot more critiques than I am. Criticism about it than either of us could possibly have about how they fuck shit up. That's fine.
But we're gonna talk about the filmmaking aspect.
Yeah, we're going at it just as people who have never seen the comic books, read the comic books. I mean, again, you know who Wonder Woman is, you know who Batman is, but I don't know who Cyborg is. I know who the Flash is. I don't know that much about him. I don't know that he's a smart ass. I don't really know that much about him. It kind of makes sense for his character to be one. And I'm okay with that. That's fine. He's the young new kid in the story, and who just kind of got plucked out of oblivion, and now he's hanging out with all these superstars, essentially.
Aquaman
was disappointing, and I really didn't want him to be, because
it was Jason Momoa with his shirt off, and the writers thought that was enough.
And I am the first one to say I'm surprised that no, it wasn't. It was not enough. I'm sorry. They didn't do it. It didn't get me. I wanted there to be more. I didn't understand why they started off this scene like quick plot synopsis. There's this otherworldly being who is returning to Earth to try and subjugate it or whatever by utilizing these 3 boxes that he lost to the ancients thousands and hundreds of years ago in a war against the mermen, the Atlanteans, the Amazons, and the world of men. When he was defeated, he left the boxes behind. So each tribe, essentially at that point, took the box and hid it for 1,000 millennia or whatever. So when he comes back to Earth, he goes straight to the Amazon's box first. And they are badasses. It's long, it's drawn out, it's fantastic action, it's suspenseful, it's well done. It's well built.
I fucking love that scene.
But it's weird. Like, you would think that, I don't know how you would do it in a movie, honestly, because it felt weird that as much effort as he put into getting that first one, the next 2 were fucking cakewalks. It got easier each time he came in. The first time he has to slaughter an entire tribe of Amazon women in order to get to it. The second time he takes on all of the 2 people who live in Atlantis. And then the third one, the Justice League is
2
fighting with
people
himself.
and Aquaman.
Yeah. The third one, Justice League is amongst fight himself. He just kind of walks in yoink, bah, peace bitches, and bounces. That's it. They barely get to even recognize that he's there and takes it. It's weird. I don't understand why they would do it that way. It's like, once you get those 3 boxes, don't you kind of have the world by the balls at that point? Like, there's still some suspense that has to go along with it, obviously, but it's kind of like, wouldn't there have been more at stake in preventing him from getting these boxes in the first place, since you keep touting and building up how important it is that he not get the fucking boxes? But of course, then if we don't do that, then we don't have the spectacular, I say spectacular as in over the top, not necessarily in good, but spectacular fight scene that comes along with them trying to kill him and take, destroy the boxes, but also gives a meaning to Cyborg because he's connected to the boxes in some way that I won't bother trying to bore you and explaining. But
well, we're also not sure we understand.
I'm not sure I understand it, but the idea is that, like, I mean, Cyborg is partially made from these boxes. I don't know if that's true or not in the comics, but whatever, we'll just go with it. But I guess my problem is that they did it that way because they couldn't think of another better reason of using Cyborg. And I'm just like, no, you guys are fucking lazy. You can come up with something better than this. You are trying to keep him away from the 3 boxes. That's your point. Go.
Yeah, that's really all you needed, honestly. But no, actually, let me rephrase. That's all you need in an Avengers movie. In this one, they needed to get that point across, explain Cyborg, explain Flash, explain Aquaman, explain how they come back together, resurrect Superman, and save the world.
Oh, and fight Superman too, because he doesn't remember who you guys are.
Alright, so, can I go?
Yeah, I know I have more, but
alright, I'm strapping on the dildo. We're going raw dog.
Why are you strapping on a dildo?
Justice League doesn't get plan B. It gets to have my bastard twisted child because I'm about to fuck it. Alright.
But why would you strap on a dildo? You already have a dick.
Because I don't want my skin touching
this. Oh, that's what condoms are for, baby. Oh, you just want to fuck it with a different dick.
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
What did we just do for 30 seconds?
But I really hope my mom never ever watches
Hi,
this.
Mom. I just, for some reason, I'm imagining your mom's shock and horror face the same way you do it.
Yeah,
has she heard that combo?
We have pretty similar shock and awe faces.
Anyway, so problem number 1, and probably my biggest problem with the movie, and it may surprise some of you, that fucking family, that stupid family of 4 living right outside the nuclear reactor. What the fuck? You what? Joss Whedon, you didn't think you were introducing enough characters or something? Oh my god, could you come up with a worse momentum killer?
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
Just when the story gets interesting, we pan back to this family that I could give less shits about. I don't care. This girl is cute. It's a cute little girl. That's nice. I'm kind of rooting for her to die so I can have some kind of emotional attachment to these people.
Yeah, I think it's the opposite of what they're going for there. I think they wanted us to be invested in this family because we want them to live.
No! I wanted them to die! I wanted them to die! I found myself actively rooting that, oh my god, tell me these people are going to die so that there's some meaning for why they keep stopping my action!
I will say, though, and I don't want to interrupt, I'm just going to jump on that point.
Go ahead and jump on the point.
The idea is that I did still intrinsically, like, and just intuitively want them to live, but I was resentful of them for being there and making me have to care about them. Like, they felt like a burden.
Yeah. So, that's point number 1.
I didn't want them to die, but I didn't want them to exist.
Cut them from the movie. I can't believe they made it through the however $1 million reshoots that you had.
Well, they made it because the screenwriters told them to make
and
it.
This is and also this, some of this may sound like a personal attack on Joss Whedon. It's not meant to be, but he did give me Alien Resurrection, which I still do not forgive him for.
Well, he's also giving us Avengers.
And he's also giving us Avengers, so I know he can do better.
I'm drawing a blank. I know there's a shit ton out there.
He's done great movies, and he's done the shittiest movies. He needs to make up his mind whether he's a good writer or a bad writer. Moving on. Point number 2. Why can't you just follow the formula? I know you don't want to be Marvel. Too bad. They did it first.
Yeah, sorry, dude. You came to the game.
I want a Cyborg standalone before Justice League. I want a Flash standalone, which I guess the TV series could count, but
it's not.
I want it before Justice League. I want... Who else is... Aquaman! I want an Aquaman standalone explaining that 30-second exposition of what he's been up to and what his life's been like.
Yeah.
I want that 30 seconds into a 2-hour movie so I can better appreciate Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Yeah.
I want the formula. You skipping steps is not helping.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's a cash grab and it's bullshit. It's almost as bad as Suicide Squad.
It feels like Batman v Superman was a Superman movie and Justice League was a Batman movie.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Wonder Woman also, because she is, like, of all the characters, which I thought was interesting. You watch the credits, and this is how they bill it. It's Ben Affleck, then Henry Cavill, then, I don't remember
whoever plays Lois Lane.
Yeah! Amy Adams. And then Gal Gadot, who has more lines than the next two people combined.
And
screen time.
And who else is credited in the ones you just listed? The guy who's not supposed to be alive!
Well, Superman can't die.
But the point is...
I get it. And we're just going to assume that he doesn't rot the same way that everyone else does.
Yeah, but anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Because, oh my god, I have so much more.
I know, baby.
So, what was my last point? Oh, I need my standalones.
Yeah.
That's right. Another point. The only two heroes to get standalone movies in this universe, this DC universe, Superman and Wonder Woman.
Yep.
We don't even get a fucking Batman standalone before Justice League? Fuck you guys. Alright.
No, they're working on it, but not before Justice League.
No, it needs to be before Justice League.
It needs to be before Batman v Superman, honestly.
But because he makes a cameo in Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman, that's good enough to get enough of Batfleck. No, it's not. That's the other problem. Number 3, you made Batman Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Batman is not Tony Stark.
No,
He is not one-liners. He is not comical. He's not a smartass. He's fucking Batman.
And he's not...
He is brooding. He is a detective.
Yes.
He is the smartest guy in the room
Yes.
at all times. He is not Tony Stark.
He is stoic and he is objective. And he's always doing everything for the greater good.
And incorruptible.
And fucking corruptible. I'm not saying they did that in this movie, but I didn't understand.
And this is not Ben Affleck's fault. Let's get that out of the way. I think Ben Affleck plays a good Batman.
I do too.
And Bruce Wayne.
This movie made me think twice. But
It wasn't his fault. I know it wasn't his fault.
But it wasn't that they had him playing Batman. They had him trying to play Tony Stark as Bruce Wayne or something like that. There's some weird amalgamation, and I don't understand it or
You can only do
appreciate
so
it.
much with what you're written.
And so, I know, I remember hearing that Ben Affleck was going to play Batman like years ago, and I was like, I still haven't forgiven him for Geely. Now, he's done good work. He's been problematic in other areas in his life also. But in general, just speaking from the movie point of view, I was more pissed off at Batman because of the whole let's resurrect Superman thing and see what happens. Like, really? That's your best plan? Like, and so Wonder Woman had my reaction, which was, I see where you're going with this. I'm not even going to let you finish the fucking thought. No. It's a bad idea. It's a terrible fucking idea. We're going to do it anyway because the screenwriter said so. But no. No. Fucking no. No. And I don't understand why they had to have Superman to come back. Because Superman, I mean, granted, I understand he's the strongest man on Earth, which just kind of gets more to the point of like how DC is just all about muscle over everything else, which is stupid because Batman is not that way.
Nope.
He's the, I don't know, he's the tank. He's not the tank. He's like the weapons specialist. Because he can't, he does like, his superpowers are that he's rich. Apparently that's his superpower. No, it's not his fucking superpower. It's one of his superpowers. But that's not his fucking superpower. That's not what makes him
Batman.
worthy of the Justice League. Lots of people are fucking rich. He is Batman because he is able to understand motivations. He's the world's greatest detective. He can figure shit out like Sherlock Holmes in the 21st, 20th century. Like, that's who he is. That's what he does. And he's incorruptible. I don't know if that's a superpower. Maybe just a character trait,
No,
but whatever.
that is a character trait, but it is what makes Batman, is that he's incorruptible. He does not kill. He has these lines that he does not cross, and he will not be corrupted. That is what makes Batman a great character.
And this movie felt like it was just him trying to atone for Superman's death, which, granted, I don't even remember what fucking happened in Batman v... We'll say BS, 'cause I'm not going to say Batman v Superman.
Yeah, we're going to refer to it as BS, because that's what it was.
But so, with... It feels like he takes on the death of Superman as being his fault. And I don't really remember it being that way. I thought Superman made a choice, and he feels bad about them fighting, and then the guy coming up and I don't remember, it was Doomsday?
Sure.
Whatever his name was.
Or Darkseid.
Yeah, whoever the villain was in the...
I think it was Doomsday, because I think Lex Luthor makes that line.
Yeah.
This is your Doomsday or something.
Yeah, something like that. So, like, he feels responsible because he took too long to realize that Superman was not the villain. But that does not necessarily make it his fault that Superman died, and he keeps taking it on like he is, and the movie wants us to believe that that's the case, and it's not. And it's horseshit that he would go there for it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Fuck Batman as Tony Stark. It's not right. Number 4. I need more Cyborg.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I need more Cyborg.
Yeah.
That actor was fantastic, and he was robbed. He was robbed out of this movie because they wanted to focus on other characters. Go ahead.
Can I say...
Jump on your point.
Yes. It's not really a point. It's just an observation that apparently... Miles Dyson couldn't get the Terminator arm and technology to work in Terminator 2, so he decided using his own fucking son in this movie. Same actor, by the way.
Was that Miles?
That's the same actor, yeah! It's the same fucking actor!
Wow.
You're saving the principle! His arm was fucked up, and so he tried to use cybernetic... it wasn't his arm, but like, whatever. So they referenced his arm and his cybernetic capabilities and alien technology that was beyond what they had, which is not alien, it's still in Terminator, but it is technology beyond what human beings have been able to create to this point, and he uses it, and it somehow becomes like the motherboard or whatever, some sort of chip or something, goes into his head, and so now he's a fucking Terminator. But he can, like, you know, he's now Terminator, but with, like, crazy, super awesome, like...
hacking skills.
Hacking skills, yeah. No, yeah.
So, that's number 4. Number 5. Human beings. Joss Whedon must have a very high thought of us, because here are the Amazonians guarding this box with their lives. Here are the Atlanteans guarding this box with their 2 lives. But the point is, in the world of man, I want you to sit back and think, which one makes more sense? That, oh my god, Miles Dyson, which I'm just going to refer to him as.
Yeah, that's fine.
Miles Dyson has the box. What a coincidence. Or that human beings completely forgot about the box and they have no clue where it is. Which one makes more sense for human beings?
Well, the idea is that we forgot where it was, but according to the movie, they found it in World War I, which would have been interesting to actually have an aside with Wonder Woman, since it was during World War I, and they just never thought to bring it up. So I don't know why they decided to bring it up in World. And I mean, is that like a post-end credit scene or something that we missed somewhere because we didn't bother to watch it? I'm gonna Google it real fast or something.
But so the point is that this third box just shows up conveniently because the screenwriter wants it to. And fuck you. That's
Wonder Woman lacked a post-credit scene.
Okay, so
yes, but it wasn't in there. They didn't bother using it.
But they could have had the post-credit scene. Explain that, and we would have been good.
It would have felt like Thor. Granted, it would have felt like the post. What was it? What movie was it? Was it the Hulk? Was it Hulk?
I don't know.
One of the. I'm gonna go with probably Hulk, who had the post-credit scene, linking to Thor when they find his hammer in the desert.
Yeah, that was Hulk.
So, maybe if they did that with Wonder Woman, they've been like you know, just reamed for essentially ripping off Marvel again. Like, okay, fine, you guys just have to get over that shit because sometimes
you're just gonna have to eat it because while we may say you rip off Marvel, we might actually enjoy your movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 6. I'm sure there is one. Give me a second. Oh, yeah, number 6. The horrible Ex Machina by Superman.
Yeah.
So, Superman gets brought back to life. leaves, has to do some soul searching. Cliche. Great. I know he's going to come back and save the day. That's great. I actually like this Superman. Henry Cavill's Superman is actually kind of interesting. I enjoyed Man of Steel. I thought it was a pretty good Superman movie. Here's the issue. He comes back, saves the day, beats the fuck out of Steppenwolf.
Who was a bland-ass villain.
And then leaves. To save civilians because the Flash can't do it on his own. And I'm doing air quotes.
Yeah.
What? So let me get this straight. You're going to stop your crescendo of this movie just to show that Superman's going to showboat the Flash?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck you. Yeah, no, that was fucking terrible. Oh, God, that pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why are we stopping right now? Why? So, number 7, Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Bland, CGI villain.
Yeah.
Just do not care at all.
Like,
bland dialogue.
A hodgepodge of every Disney villain ever.
Bland design.
Well, not even every Disney villain. Like...
No, because they're good Disney villains.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
I'm more interested in Disney villains than him. He was just boring. He had his great first scene that made me interested, and then he just walks over everyone, and then he gets his ass kicked at the end. It's like there was no complexity here.
No.
There is complexity to every Marvel villain. 90% of the time. Most of the time. There's something there.
There's some sort of unique trait in all of them, either in delivery or in who they are.
Let's compare it to the Avengers. It's their first Avengers movie, if you will. You have Loki.
Oh, yeah.
Complex.
Yeah.
How do you not love Loki? How do you not love to hate Loki?
Yeah.
Loki is fantastic. Tom Hiddleston, shout out.
Yes. Love Loki.
Steppenwolf is boring. He's just evil.
Yeah.
He's just boring evil. And I know we disagree on this, and we're not going to go too deep into it. I would have rather seen Lex Luthor. Which I know we're going to get in Justice League 2, which is why I'll go see Justice League 2, because I absolutely love Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I know you don't. I think he's fantastic. Now, I have ripped this movie to shreds. I've given it 7 reasons why I fucking can't stand it. I'm going to give you the one that redeemed it for me. The scene where they're fighting Superman. A lot of fun, blah, blah. Then there's this moment where everyone's trying to gang up on Superman, and the Flash tries to blindside Superman. He's shooting around the side of him, and you go into that slow-mo Flash mode. And you watch him start to go behind Superman. And Superman's kind of in his... Again, it's a slow-mo world, so nothing moves as fast as the Flash. But then Superman's eyes move. And they just turn to look at Flash. And the sheer terror that you see Flash feel in that moment...
It's when that moment that Barry Allen realized.
He fucked up. That was one of the coolest scenes. Superhero scenes.
Moments.
One of the coolest superhero moments I've ever seen. I said, and I still hold true to this, that was worth the price of admission. For me.
It was a cool scene. I will give you that. Or a cool moment. I will give you that. One of the best? No. It's up there, but it's beat by a lot, and that's even within the DC universe.
Well, okay. Grant.
It was cool. I enjoyed it.
No, yeah. It was very well done.
It's not redeeming for me.
That was redeeming for me.
Because they've lost me on so many other things. Like, why couldn't you have taken shit like that? That inkling of not expecting this necessarily, or how we're going to play this is going to be intriguing and entertaining. Why can't we do that the whole fucking movie? The fact that you're able to show some of your work is not good enough for me. You need to show the whole goddamn problem for all of them. Sorry, I went straight to Twitter for a second, but
moving on. And the fact that afterwards, so Superman sees him and is able to move just as fast as the Flash, so he throws a punch at Flash. The fact that they made Superman miss, even though Flash trips over himself, the fact that Superman missed spoke volumes to me.
Yeah.
Because they could have had Superman hit him, and it would have been funny. But the fact that he missed shows that it legitimizes the Flash in Justice League.
Yeah.
He made Superman miss.
Well, and so for me, in that scene, and I can't remember, we would have to go back and watch it, which I have an easier time watching this movie again than I ever would
Jigsaw. I know.
Almost every DC movie that's come out in this new spun universe, except Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman.
But so I had to go back and rewatch to see the change in difference of time. So we have the Flash and Superman fighting, sparring. What is the relative amount of time that's going on with everyone else around him? Superman was being, ganged up on by 3 other superheroes, and he kind of just tosses them off while he goes to fight the Flash. So are they still flying through the air while he's fighting the Flash? Yeah. Or are they just seeing a blur at this point of action? Like, these kind of, like, different things that we can go ahead and move. Like, that's the sort of, like, depth that you get in a good movie. I feel like they skipped steps that didn't need to be skipped. Like, that's something that I don't feel like if it happened, I don't remember it happening, and it wasn't impactful enough. Because if they had done it and done it right, I feel like I would have remembered every single moment, and I don't. I don't remember that happening. And again, like I said, I go back and watch it just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure they didn't do it that way, and that is just a clear indication to me of missteps that were taken in making this movie that seems to be indicative of DC in general. In general. Like, there's shit you guys could do that would make this so much cooler. It wouldn't take that much work. You don't do it. Why the fuck not? You're too focused on hitting people and explosions and slow-mo. This is all about fucking slow-mo. You're just doing it at different levels. Why the fuck wouldn't you do this too? That's where it's necessary. That's where it's absolutely necessary. That's where it's actually wanted, and you choose not to. You're going to show them fighting in real time. Fine. Do that. Comparison, the superheroes still flying through the air. They should not even be on the ground by the time the Flash has gotten away with Superman. He should be able to go back and try and catch them at this point.
Oh, problem number 8. Give Cyborg and Aquaman more lines.
Well, let's talk back to the original point of Cyborg in general.
Yes, but it's building on it because the final lines between Cyborg and Aquaman are booyah
and right on.
And right on, respectively.
I don't know if this is what's like something that their characters would ordinarily do because I don't know that much about Aquaman. I do know that Aquaman rides motherfucking sharks. I just saw no motherfucking shark riding in this movie. I was very disappointed.
No, Aquaman was underused. The coolest moment he has is in the fucking trailer.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So you give him nothing because the trailer should only give you a peek. Yeah. It should not give you the whole fucking dick.
No, yeah.
So, we're going to go to final scores here. Sweetheart. Out of 10.
That's going to be a 6. 6.5.
6? I'm giving it a 6.5.
Yeah, I did 6.5. Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than Jigsaw.
Yeah.
But it was still a shit movie.
I mean, we had this conversation afterwards about where we would place. We started in our predictions of the movie, but we were talking about DC movies and where we would rank them on a spectrum, essentially.
Yeah. 1 being Dark Knight.
Yeah. As
10 being Suicide Squad.
From fantastic to you should may God have mercy on your soul for making this piece of shit. So 1 is Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And honestly, a bunch of the Batman movies are gonna cluster towards
around
the top.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Yeah, they're not close around.
Which I know it's a backwards rating system. Just leave it alone.
Not Joel Schumacher. He needs to be further closer to 10.
Except Batman Forever.
He's closer to 10 than Tim Burton.
But I like Batman Forever.
I know you do. But you like the original Batman more, right? Oh, God. Okay, never mind. I don't want to get into this. We all hate Batman and Robin, though, right?
Okay, yeah. Fuck that movie.
Okay. Batman and Robin and Suicide Squad can go down at number 10. Or let's just reverse this. Let's make this clear.
Well, we're going to switch this around for you guys. So 10 is Dark Knight, 1 is Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Or Batman and Robin.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where that is, and Dark Knight is at number 1. Batman with Tim Burton, with Michael Keaton, we'll put it, like, probably around 8 or 9.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8.
Dark Knight Rises, honestly, I'd put it up there with it as well.
I'd put it a little lower than Batman, so 7.
That's fine. That's still clustering towards passing, so I'm okay with that.
And here's how my rating system works, at least for you guys. 8 is a good movie. 7 is a movie that was worth a watch.
Yeah.
6 and below, meh.
Yeah. Like, I could watch it again, but I'm not going to go out of my way. 5 is, I can take it or leave it, honestly. And anything below 5 is pretty much like, I have lost time off my life that I will never get back. Yeah. And I feel like I should be suing.
And 10 is go see it now. Stop listening to this podcast. Go.
What's wrong with you?
Buy tickets for this movie.
And not even just like go watch this movie. Make sure you go pay for this movie.
No, yeah. Give them your money.
Yeah.
Shut up and give them your money.
Yeah, exactly. So Wonder Woman, I've put at like a 7 or 8.
I'd put it at 9. I thought it was fantastic.
I thought for a DC movie it was fantastic, but in general I would probably still put it at 8 or 9. Or 7 or 8, I mean.
Okay.
I understand this is like
as you can see, Arian's a lot more critical than I am.
I understand this is a scale of DC movies, but even within that scale, I still have to be objective enough to be able to rate it as a movie. I would still put it at probably a 7 or 8.
Okay. So now that we've explained our scoring system,
yeah.
Your final scores for Justice League.
Justice League, I would probably put at a 6, solid 6, 6.5.
And I'm giving it 6.5 just because I gave Jigsaw a 6. I'm not
mad.
I gave Jigsaw a 6 because I'm a fan of Saw.
And I'm not mad. I mean, and knowing that 7 it was worth a watch. It was worth paying for. Like I'm not quite there yet on it, but I'm not necessarily averse to it. So that's why I'm like 6.5. It's probably more like 6.59. But if I had to be real, very exact about this, where it's closer to 7 than it is for 6, but it could go either way, kind of depending on how I'm feeling that day. It was a decent movie. I don't feel like anyone needs to rush out to see it. I'm not upset that I did.
Yeah.
So I'll just put it that way.
So my recommendation, at least, it really to me is worth the price of admission to see that Superman fighting the Justice League scene. That being said, you can wait for video on this one.
Yeah.
I say absolutely rent it. It's worth the $5 or whatever it is to rent it. But honestly, if you're not a DC fan, I would not pay for it in theaters.
I'm not even sure that if you are a DC fan, you should pay for this in theaters, because I don't know how much you're going to be upset about this movie compared to how much we are knowing that.
That's where we go back to our friend Juicy, who you've heard a couple times in the stream here. He enjoyed this movie. He recommended that we go see it because he thought we would be impressed. And there's nothing against Juicy. He has fantastic. He's a fantastic critic of movies. The only downfall he has, which is the same thing I have, when you're a fan of something, you're easier on it.
See, I think
as am I. As you saw, if I was not a fan of Saw, I probably would have given Jigsaw 4 just like Ariane.
See, I think that's not necessarily I don't think that's necessarily the case. I feel like case in point, Last Airbender. You know a movie's bad when you walk out of it and a 10-year-old who was sitting down next to you, complete stranger by the way, walked out of that film going, this was bullshit. Like, I don't think she actually said the word bullshit, but for all the language that a 10-year-old can employ when describing this film to her adult chaperone who was with her and asks her, what do you think? And her reaction is, whatever the 10-year-old equivalent of saying this is bullshit without coming out and telling her parents this was, quote, bullshit. Because that movie was bullshit. And I was a fan. I know that 10-year-old girl was a fan when she went to go see that movie. And a lot of people were when they went to go see it. And fans will probably always be harder on that movie than anyone else could possibly be because it was such a travesty and betrayal. So I feel like sometimes fans can be easier to please, but I think at other times they're probably the hardest ones. And that's the goal. That's the challenge of making a movie when you're making it off of another source material, is you don't want to necessarily just do service to the fans, because if they're the only ones who go see your movie, you will never make enough money. But you still have to be able to do something justice so that not only are you, bringing in the fans and having them appreciative of it, but also you are creating and crafting new appreciation for this source material, as well as your own version of it with new viewers, new audience members. And this movie did not do that for me. I don't know anything more about Cyborg, Flash, or Aquaman than I already knew, which was not much to begin with. So, yeah.
So, there's our recommendations on Justice League and Jigsaw. Now, this is going to be a new series we start, and we will be doing, I believe we'll be doing the Murder on the Orient Express next week.
I don't know if we're doing next week, but we'll probably do it at some point.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. I am hopeful that we will also be doing movies that may not necessarily releases, but your Netflix movies.
Which is what I was getting to.
Okay. Sorry. I'm so sorry, baby.
I never want to leave you guys on a sour note. And I was hoping that at least one of these movies would be good enough for us to end the reviews on a happy note. Unfortunately, fuck those movies. So, I'm going to leave you with a happy note. With our weekly review recommendation.
Oh, we're doing that now?
Cheap sound effects because we're broke. I have a recommendation for you guys. A 10 out of 10 recommendation. You have to watch this. And that is not easy for me to say. It's not easy for Ariane to say, but I bet you she'll agree with me. Stop what you're doing after you're done watching this stream. Watch Mindhunter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It is a Netflix original series. If you enjoy crime shows, if you enjoy storytelling, if you enjoy dialogue, if you enjoy good writing, if you enjoy good camera work, if you enjoy well-used score, maybe not complex score, but well-used score, that show is for you.
If you enjoy good storytelling, this show is going to be...
It is...
up your alley.
a long time since I've given a series 10 out of 10, and that is one I am very comfortable saying I give it a 10 out of 10.
Well, and I would like to focus more. The reason why I don't really want to weigh in on it, and I do enjoy that show a lot. So
and we're not going to spoil that one for you. We will not spoil 10 out of 10s.
No.
You have to go watch them.
No, yeah. I would like to focus more on movies because that's what we were doing all this time. So I would like to give my recommendation for The Babadook. We've already kind of mentioned it in this stream.
Absolutely.
We'll not spoil anything for you. It's an independent. Is it independent film? It was news. It was
one of those two.
Australia or New Zealand, I think.
I'd give that one a solid 9.
Oh hell yeah! Like easily. Like that movie, creepy. So.
And that's a 9 for a horror movie.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Those are not easy to come by me.
Yeah. Let's be real.
Like I honestly could probably give it a 10 if I'm being realistic on it, just because it's really hard for me to get into horror movies, and this one absolutely got me.
Even with.
He made it.
Not trying to spoil anything.
No, yeah, there was a certain part of that movie that
you hated.
Yeah.
You actually threatened to turn the movie off because of it.
Yeah. I guess I'm still gonna give it a 10. I'll give it an A-. So I guess it's got to be a 9. But it's if I wasn't feeling that way about that particular moment, I would probably still give it a 10. But it's not really not in context with what's going on, so that's why I can still give it objectively a 10, even though I did threaten to turn the movie off at that point. So, Yeah, no, Babadook, watch it. Fantastic film. There are more that I would like to review. We will try and potentially work on doing movies without giving spoilers so that people can watch them. But some of these are also going to be just discussions about what we liked or didn't like about a movie, which will be fraught with spoilers, so just be prepared. But other movies that we're just doing straight reviews, there will be no spoilers, and we will be careful to make certain that we avoid those. Sound good?
That's fair.
Okay.
So, yeah, our recommendation we leave you with, I leave you with the Netflix original series of Mindhunter. Please watch it. It is about the FBI's creation of profiling serial killers.
Yeah.
And the Babadook, I'm not even going to tell you this plot. Just watch it.
Yeah.
And let the mindfuck begin.
Yeah, seriously. It's easier, I think, sometimes you don't know anything about it.
Shout out to Jessica and Chris, who made us watch that movie. And we still kind of hate you for it.
A little bit,
so
yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you to all you guys who decided to watch this stuff. I know we went away for a very long time. It was very hard to balance our schedules.
We were gone for a minute, but we're back now.
And that's why we're trying to find new ways to do this, because honestly, gameplay is just not feasible for a bunch of different games like it used to be. So I'm still going to do some Battlefront, so you guys check that out, because I'm still defending the fact that you can free to win it. We will be doing more of these movie reviews because we love talking about movies, and we've never taped it before, and we heard that they were pretty good. So we're going to keep doing movie reviews, and I'm going to try to convince Ariane to go watch Murder on the Orient Express with me this weekend, so we can come back and talk about it next week. But other than that, there's some other things you can look forward to. Star Wars will be getting its own discussion. That one we will probably have special guests for, hopefully, if they're down for it.
Yeah, hopefully.
And that one may be a hell of a lot longer than an hour. We've talked for hours and hours about Star Wars. And this one has the potential to be one of the best Star Wars movies of all time. So
we'll see, yeah.
We're very excited. So that's definitely coming. Other than that, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, blah blah blah. YouTube cliche. And by the way, just in case, I don't really hate to be this guy, but I'm gonna be this guy. Schmodown, if you're listening, could whoop all your asses.
Maybe.
Just saying. So thank you for watching.
They don't watch us.
I'm Matt.
I'm Ariane.
You don't know they don't watch.
I'm pretty sure.
We're out.
Bye.